This video presentation features the following topics: themes of self-harm and suicide, partial nudity, blood and gore, physical and sexual violence, depression, and body horror. If these themes at all disturb or unsettle you, please close out of the video. This is the only warning that will be given. Viewer discretion is advised. We as a species are capable of enduring intense pain, from the tiniest pinprick to the most excruciating of physical trials. We as a species are also capable of dealing great harm to our fellow human beings, for whatever reason that we feel can justify it. But there are limits, lines you should never cross, misery and agony we shouldn't wish upon our worst enemies, and such that we pray never reaches the possibility of happening to ourselves, lest the idea of our very humanity be put into question. What I'm about to go over today is a tragic and disjointed tale, one of sleep deprivation, hauntings, and a consistent cycle of abuse directed upon a singular subject. And although the imagery is fictitious and its narrative is presented from an animated medium, is no less harrowing as the usage of visual metaphor is abundant, allowing the viewer to extract various different meanings besides what's located on the surface level. Allow me to present to you the YouTube channel I Can't Sleep. I Can't Sleep is a YouTube channel that would begin uploading 3 years ago. Their first upload being a video titled The Monster Under My Bed. Multiple viewers and others who've made essays on this channel prior were quick to point out the potential deeper meaning behind it, that of irrational childhood fears, and as the channel would continue to upload, it would quickly accrue a cult following, thousands tuning in to decipher the creator's motivation. Allow me to provide a brief summarization as I go over a few of the uploads myself. I Can't Sleep as a channel at first covers general grievances with life, headaches, fears, and its horror aesthetic harkens back to early mid-2000s goth and emo culture, reminiscent of Invader Zim and other similar creative works of that era. But as time goes on, a recurring theme begins to make itself known: victimization, brutalization, loss of innocence, sleep deprivation, and sexual assault. On and on again, this characters ran through a gauntlet of pain and misery in all too specific a manner. Some of the later uploads would feature this central theme, although most interpret it in a majority of other ways. My interpretation is this. The story follows a girl who is routinely victimized in this way even as she grows into a woman. Her ability to live her life is stretched thin, a constant feeling of unease that follows her as she feels she is not safe, paired with a depression that doesn't allow her even a moment's peace, culminating in a constant dread, or melancholy, and ultimately a deprivation of sleep. She is routinely put through pain, and then there are moments where she is capable of smiling, they are ultimately ruined by an internal truth that remains at play in her mind. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and no one is coming to save me. There is a deep-seated trauma and pain and grief being put on display here. And although I feel it isn't necessarily a sign the creator is venting their own trauma, the channel's general fan base seems to think so, readily offering their condolences and worry in the comment sections of every video. From a purely story writer's standpoint, the presentation of it all feels genius. Picture this. A random, dark and edgy YouTube channel appears in your recommended. Maybe because you watch too many horror YouTubers or crime investigators. Maybe that's your thing, I don't know. Naturally, your curiosity will make you click it, and the channel will drag you into a rabbit hole of visual narrative that only smothers you the further you go, an overwhelming dark that swallows even the viewer. For those of you in the audience, just a reminder, it is okay to ask for help. You are not alone in the way that you feel, and there are people out there you can talk to. Even besides a number on screen in modern times, more hotlines and numbers have been made so that a good-hearted stranger or just someone can be contacted when you feel you need to speak with someone. I Can't Sleep can be interpreted as an example of either someone deeply troubled expressing themselves in an art form, or merely just an artist whose advantage in their grasp on the early 2000s emo aesthetic. Whatever the case may be, they have a story to tell, and seemingly only their own handiwork and skill, myself and others will have to just sit back and wait patiently for their uploads. Their most recent upload was posted only 3 weeks ago, and is no less grim or harrowing than their first. Seemingly, their craft has only gotten better since its arrival, but I have a gut feeling the narrative is only going to get darker. Only time will tell. Now, I have some things to get off my chest myself. Lately, I've been struggling to keep up the schedule of uploading content. A lot of what I do so is in a haphazard way, with no dedicated PC setup or studio quality equipment. And no, before you ask, this is not a guilt trip or anything. I'm merely explaining why I'm a bit late or slow on my uploads recently. It's also the holiday month, but I feel that's more of an excuse for me and not a valid reason I could give myself. I appreciate those of you who have subscribed and continue to subscribe up to until this point. I hope you remain with me in the new year ahead, and I feel I have a lot to talk about. With that being said, this has been Metro Murray. Remember, you are not alone. Again, there are people you can call and speak with at a moment's notice. I know just as much what it's like to be in that headspace, and just having someone to talk to makes a world of difference. For the holidays, farewell, and be safe.